Hey, welcome back. So as you're probably noticing, this is not where I usually film my videos. So in another video, I'm going to show you guys where I normally shoot my videos. It's a really small, like, cube-like room that I do my makeup in. And I normally shoot my videos in there just because it's good lighting. But I thought I might want to give this a try today. So thanks for coming back. If you're new here, welcome, and I'm going to talk about what we're going to get into today. So I thought that it might be interesting to talk about, because how much I've talked about all the positive things of vitiligo, I thought maybe I would just touch on some of the things that really are annoying, and I've noticed since the time that I've had it. My entire life. There are a lot of things that people might not know that they're doing, so this might help those people to become aware, and then this also could help other people with vitiligo to not feel so alone, because we all go through these things. Maybe it's not just people with vitiligo, maybe it's anybody in general, but these are some of the things that have happened to me. So I'm going to talk about 6 of the most annoying things about having vitiligo. So without further ado, I will get right into it. The first thing that is really annoying about having vitiligo is that it attracts a lot of unwanted attention. It's positive and negative attention. So when I say unwanted attention, I mean there has been a lot of people who are rude about it, of course. There's a lot of people who don't like the way you look, things like that. But that's not really what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who think because you have it, they find you more attractive or like mysterious or interesting or whatever, or they use it as an excuse to talk to you. I think it's really, really uncomfortable when people will approach me and use that to try to strike up a conversation, try to make things interesting, and maybe try to start something. So I think it's really, really uncomfortable when people approach me with like inappropriate manners, trying to use my vitiligo as a way to talk to me. So in a way that I think it's like interesting or mysterious or whatever, but they use it as an excuse to try to talk to me, or they think that I will be like an easy target or something because I have it. So I'm not sure if anybody else has experienced that, but I've experienced that a lot. People think that gives them the right to, ask inappropriate questions, and like they think it gives you, I feel like they think it gives them the right to know you or something. So yeah, so that's that. If you've ever sent me anything like that, or if you want to, please don't. But if you have vitiligo and you've experienced this, I'm so sorry. The second most annoying thing about having vitiligo is getting sunburn. For people with vitiligo, they don't really have any sense of protection or any source of protection against the sun. So when they go out, it was always a big deal for me, because when I go out, I either have to be covered up completely or I have to be covered in sunblock in order to not come inside, like literally burnt to a crisp. So going outside is like a little bit tricky sometimes. It's really not fun to go outside when you have vitiligo sometimes, because you have to worry about so much sun exposure. Even if you're not being out there for such a long time, it can be, kind of annoying to have to worry about that even for short periods of time. So if you have vitiligo, we just gotta cover up and protect your skin. And number 3 kind of goes back to the first. It kind of relates to the first annoying instance. Inappropriate questions are really annoying. I'm not sure if everybody experiences this that has vitiligo, but having vitiligo, when I post things on the internet for other people to see, some people think it's like, oh, you have vitiligo, so I can ask you about like inappropriate parts of your body. Like they think because you have vitiligo that they can ask exactly where it is. I've been asked quite a few times, like, oh, is it here, is it there? And like every single time it's like a place that I wouldn't tell anybody about. because vitiligo like affects most places, it's probably in all of the places that you're thinking. But I think it's really like inappropriate and rude to ask somebody about that. So I just think that I've been asked way too many times where it's located, because it's just inappropriate, because I would never tell anybody that, especially not strangers. If you have ever asked me that, never ask me that again. The fifth thing that is kind of annoying about having vitiligo, it's pretty interesting to shop for clothes sometimes. So when you're shopping for clothes, a lot of the times you shop for things that flatter your skin tone, things like that. But it is a little difficult to find things that like flatter vitiligo, just because, you know, if a color looks good on like my tan skin, it won't necessarily look good on my whiter part. So it is a little bit difficult to shop for clothes sometimes, just because you never really know what's gonna look good. And I love it and everything, but you know, sometimes it is tricky because it just doesn't look like it should because of the vitiligo. So like for mesh clothing, like if you have like a shirt that has a little bit of mesh, it can look a little bit like interesting because underneath is like spots or like, you know, patch. Like I have these leggings that like show my calves with mesh, and the mesh on my calves you can see like all my spots and stuff through, so it doesn't always quite look like I think it will. I'm getting used to the fact of how it will look, and you know that it's it doesn't really matter how it looks, but you know when you're shopping for things and it's not quite to your expectations, it does kind of like make the shopping a little less fun. And number 6 is this is probably the most annoying thing, is being treated differently. With having vitiligo, I know that I'm different, and I'm sure everybody with vitiligo knows that. But being different is cool, is very cool, and is very unique, but a lot of the times it doesn't feel that way. I'm treated a little bit differently than other people, because it is a little bit difficult to know whether or not people like you for you, or if they feel bad for you, or they think you look weird or whatever. So it is a little bit difficult to go out to the world and not wonder why people are being nice to you or rude and etc. So, and this video was meant to like kind of open people's eyes and like just share my experiences, because you know, having vitiligo isn't a big deal, but you know, it took a long learning curve to be okay with something like this. So I hope talking about it makes it easier for some of you guys, because I know that vitiligo is a topic that a lot of people don't want to talk about, or you know, feel ashamed or scared to talk about. So I hope that this, just like me talking about my discomforts, makes you a little bit more comfortable. It shouldn't be something that we have to go through silently. It should be something that we should talk about with our community and like, you know, learn from and just laugh about eventually, because these things don't even matter. But there's been so many instances where vitiligo has impacted my life, and a lot of it's been negative, but a lot of it's been for the better. So I'm really appreciative for all my experiences and the way that I am, because without it I would be a totally different person. So I do hope this helped everybody with some of my experiences, and you know, even though those things were some negative things that I talked about, there's so many good things about vitiligo, which is why I feel like I can talk about the negatives. I hope that this helped somebody out there, and I hope that this encourages you guys to share your experiences. You know, I would love to hear some of your guys' experiences. I know it's not always easy to talk about, and a lot of the times you can just look back and laugh at them eventually. Feel free to leave some down in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. So my camera died. That always happens. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me guys know what you think in the comments. I got some really exciting stuff coming up for you, and the very requested vitiligo, how to repigment vitiligo part 2 will be coming out very shortly, so stay tuned. So if you want to see that, please subscribe and like and comment and do all those great things. I will see you next week.